Super Happy Dragon Lucky. The show will begin momentarily.
But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why, 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other thing. Not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win. We choose to go to the moon.
Hi everyone, welcome to Super Happy Dragon Lucky, the Dragonchain Update Show. This is episode SHDL, that is 0xea. It's a hex number. It's the 235th episode. A reminder, nothing on this show is financial advice, and stay tuned after the updates for a quick AMA. So this week's updates for Dragonchain, we have the show's Super Happy Dragon Lucky distribution of governance lot NFTs. Last week's episode created 400 lot. There were 2 questions which received 100 lot each, and there were no featured posts. The host received 100 lot, and finally Dragonchain received 100 lot. So now we go to Den.Social updates. So first off, the February 2024 proposal phase starts next Tuesday. That's the proposal phase for the layer creation process to create new layers. Again, the LCP process, February 2024. So the proposal phase will be next Tuesday, so get ready for that. Coffee with Den is still on hold. Hopefully he'll start that back up again soon, even if it's a different format or anything. I have a mug, so I could show up, right? DinDAO updates. We have no DinDAO call this week. We had it last week, and good discussion last week as well, so thanks for that. Now we go to the World Blockchain Roundtable update. In case you missed it, last week's episode was Grand Theft Auto 6. So there was a lot about video games and gaming and other interesting items. And it was also a good current events segment as well. So go watch that. The more views it gets the first week, the more lot all the participants will get. And episode 140 airs today at 1100 Eastern, like 57 minutes or so, and 1600 UTC, with the topic Peace on Earth and Goodwill Toward Men Through Blockchain, as proposed by, I actually don't know who proposed that one. We'll find out on the show. So make sure you get there, leave a blockchain related question or subject to discuss so it gets on air and you get credit. And make sure you vote up what is there so we get it all sorted. So I'm going to bring these up, and while I refresh this page, make sure that you go and subscribe. Make sure you share the video as you can right now. And we'll go down here to the first question. So first question from Dayrox. Hi, Joe. How are you doing? Thanks for your engagement. What do you think about limiting the number of energy allowed to vote on posts? Currently, it is about proportional to the matter held. That is true because it comes, you get 24 free every day. Everybody does 1 per hour, essentially. And then anything else is you will get the amount of matter you have in your wallet. That's the amount of energy you will produce in one day. So 1/24 of whatever that is produced every hour, and as you use it, it comes back. So it's easy to use up all the energy in a few minutes by voting for a small number of posts with big stakes. Very true. Especially when you're newer, right? if we were to introduce a maximum amount of energy that can be voted on per post, people with a lot of energy would have to put more effort into voting on like more things, probably, right? They'd have to split it up more. This would give smaller denizens a chance to build a profile. Okay, currently, there are a lot of posts that do not receive any energy. Such a solution would force the whales to look for posts on which they could use their energy. I'll ask this question again in the next DAO. It'd be good for that, especially if you were to call in, if you were to dial in or something. It'd be really good because then we could actually even get a few things back and forth. Because I would have a few questions for you as well. I am curious about your first thoughts on this topic. Regards and good luck to you. First thoughts, I would be against it because I would rather, when you say building up reputation, right now, most, I mean, not all, but, pretty much by far most of the reputation or the buildup of matter is related to good content. I mean, it's heavily weighted towards, bring good content and get a lot of energy and get a lot of matter, right? And because it's a prediction market, it's good to not have limits. But I do understand, and I do say, there is, for certain, as an example, I rarely, if ever, vote all of my energy at once. Later in the day when I have less remaining, of course, but it is good to spread it for sure. So, there are a couple of things I would, and I have no idea where I would land on this in proposing it or in supporting it. But for example, you could instead, and these are just alternatives. I don't know if they're better or not. You could also, an option would be to essentially reward people for spreading their energy more. One of the things slightly related is an approved issue to, I believe it's approved. We'll have to check that. To essentially reward lot only based upon your voting and other activity within a particular layer. So if you had some amount of lot for let's say the politics layer, and you didn't participate in the politics layer at all, you essentially wouldn't, you'd still have governance votes and everything else, but you wouldn't generate any matter from the goings on there. And I think that's a more fair, as an example but that's a very lot focused activity. Something like this, I could see myself coming in and voting in favor of what you are proposing, that we would limit it. The question is, what would be the max amount of energy that would be allowed? And, it'd probably be some Fibonacci multiple or something, right? And would that be, would that prevent any good, because you think about it, the more energy you use, whoever you are putting that energy on is going to essentially be rewarded in matter, as are you if you are voting in the right direction and voting early enough and all of those other parts. So I could see this happening. I would want to think through a whole bunch of different scenarios with it, of course. But one of them could be a limit, like you mentioned, or one of them could be that you are, as an evaluator, maybe you have access to a different, bigger pool if you spread your votes more. That is, you're voting more and giving more content input for consensus. So something in there I would agree with it would be valuable to add. So excellent question, Dayrox. Thank you very much. And next question is Jacob Wayne. So, hey, Joe, keep up the good work on the shows. Thanks. I'm always watching. That's awesome. Really appreciate it. Especially the roundtable. Roundtable, we get through so much stuff, and it's a wide open, a lot of things going on, up-to-date stuff. So anyway, I noticed my lore stopped accruing a couple of weeks ago, but my matter has been accruing like normal. So I was curious if the pool of lore that slowly leaked into users' wallets has run out. I just realized it's also January 2024. So perhaps it was to stop at 2024. I don't remember the numbers, but I do remember voting on things a while back, and each year was a smaller pool of lore. Anyway, maybe you can refresh my memory on the show. Also, belated Happy New Year. 2024 will be a great one. Happy New Year. Yes, 2024 is the year of the dragon, and I believe it starts in February with the Lunar New Year. But Year of the Dragon is upon us, so that's a lot of the good stuff that's going on. So me too. I had to refresh my memory on these things, and it was actually a topic of discussion last week with the team that essentially we needed to update the system to turn that back on, and we got caught up with a lot of stuff, and we missed it. So we're a few days late, but there was already governance issues way back about this, where we essentially approved the method to move. How do I say this? The same amount of lore will go out in the entire year, but the whatever you call it, the beginning of that, I can't remember what we call the program. It's a rewards program. The beginning of that rewards program was delayed, so it gets squished. So there's just more per day when it starts. So we went through and looked at the numbers. So essentially, the amount officially allocated for 2024 to be in that rewards program to give people lore, so that they for participating in all the various parts of the system, to give them lore so that they can use it in the LCP, so they can build new layers, new communities, do all the things without spending any money at all, which is the beauty. So the official amount allocated for 2024 was $178,272,904. Okay, so that's how much was supposed to be going, and it hasn't started yet. The second part is there was a governance vote, and I don't have the date in front of me, but where there was a portion when we approved the program, we had everything ready for it, but no one had the time to build out the system to plug it in. So we had a gap, and we had a discussion and a vote a while ago, I don't know how long ago, on what to do with that amount, which was apparently from 2021. And so the amount from 2021 that was going to be allocated to 2024, and if I remember right, it was that we split it up over multiple years. I can't remember precisely. You can go back into governance issues and find that out, or ask us again. So that amount was $90,465,194.36 approximate. I don't know if that's rounded or not. That was going to be allocated to 2024. So the total amount for 2024, to actually finally answer your question, is $268,738,098.36 lore for 2024. There are apparently 366 days in 2024, and we will have missed 33. So it looks like 333 days in 2024 this will be active, and that might adjust a day or two depending upon when it gets turned on. It'll be finalized, and so I'll go through the pools if that's all right. Well, let me go real quick. I'm going to say 2023 there was 448.3 million for 2023, and there's 268, so it is less. It's not less than half. Matter ETH liquidity gets 45% daily, which is 363,000 a day. Lore ETH liquidity is 20% of the amount, which is 161,000 a day. Matter, internal or external claimed, is 121,000 daily. Lore, internal or external, is 16,140. Den governance lot is 12,105 daily. Lot, any type of lot, internal or external, is 48,421 daily. And these are not flat integer numbers. They're These are rounded. Dragon ETH, which I don't think that is plugged in, but I can't remember. You guys can tell me. 48,000 a day, and Dragon is 36,000 a day. Those are the approved amounts, but it's 807,000 a day that will go out and lower to the various pools, and any of them that are inactive, if they are, because I believe that we didn't have time to plug some in and didn't prioritize it by vote or anything. So any of them that weren't active will just end up being somewhere where we need to vote on, how do we roll them out? Do we just push them to next year, or what do we do? So there you go. That was a great question. And the last question from I am is, what advice would you give a new denizen, especially if they feel limited on how many postings they can make? I see that's an excellent in context question. How recent was that made? Let's see here, a minute ago. See, brilliant. Right, probably right before I refreshed, I guess. Anyway, new denizen. I would say first thing would be, if you want to play organically in the system, make new content, answer people, try to provide value as you normally, as a, like, say, a good denizen would, as a, if you're on any social network, how do you attract the game is usually, how do I get people to follow me, or how do I monetize this, right? Well, with Den, it is, how do I produce good content that people will appreciate and that will cause people to it tends to be, if you can get people to reply and start a conversation, you're going to get a lot more attention, and you're going to typically bring a lot more energy to your conversation, and you even get credited for people voting on the people replying to you, even if they disagree with you. So there's a bunch of great stuff there. You even get credit, depending on the consensus. If you have good content and the consensus is such, you will get credit even for people downvoting on people who are replying to you. So there's a bunch of really good stuff there. So typically, I would say the fastest way to do anything is to get good content, bring it in, get people to engage and vote energy onto your content. Obviously, the secondary is competing for tagging pools and competing for bringing links in, sharing links on the outside with boosted content. And, there's even a reward for sharing unboosted content. You get a reward for people just coming from outside into Den. And then obviously on finding bad content and voting it down, there's definite rewards for that. And it's fixed, and you can actually generate a decent amount of matter doing that. And with that matter, then you will obviously get more energy. And now the other side of it, if you want to be on non-organic about it, and this isn't the preferred way, but it is definitely a way that would work. And it's not that complex either. And this show is not financial advice. This is not about an investment, but it's about a utility token. If you went and purchased matter in order to have a higher generated energy daily, you would have fewer limits, right? So that is an actual, and it's a utility token. So that's what it does. It produces energy with which you can do all of the things. And, it's intended to be kind of a funnel wherein, some of the negative is you might filter out some people that don't want to, try to get in there and learn a new way of doing things. Facebook and Reddit are good enough for them. We're better off without some of those people, and some of them not, right? So if there are ideas to help, and one of them would be, I didn't talk about in the last, that former question, is the potential that we could vote, depending, and we'd have to look at the numbers and maybe even get some anecdotal thoughts from everyone. does it take too long for it right now for a new user to generate enough matter to do more of the things they want to do? And if so, there is in the formula, in the energy, I don't know what the energy generation formula, where it goes through every hour and says, oh, boom, you have this much energy now. That formula has in the white paper a multiplier, and right now it's 1. So you could very easily make it so that if you had, let's say I've produced 5 energy, we can give it a 2x or a 3x or a 4x, and now all of a sudden I have 20 energy plus the 24 free energy. So we could do something like that, and I'm definitely not against it if it's the right time to do it. That was already called out in the white paper. It's planned and everything else. So that is everything for updates. And now we're going to get into for AMA, I should say. There is no featured content post or anything else today. But in closing, let's see here. I'm gonna pull this up. You can go to Dragonchain.Store. Oh, look, out of stock Dragonchain branded stuff. We have factor stuff. We have a bunch of here is the Terminator Jojo, right? Go to Dragonchain.Store and buy some merch if you are so inclined to wear that around. We always enjoy having people wear Dragonchain stuff. And if you are able, donate to the legal fund at legalfund.dragonchain.com. You can look, you can donate on the monthly with a credit card or with Google Pay or Apple Pay or Alipay or any of the normal banking ways. And you can also donate with crypto. And we already accept, you can see the logos here, multiple crypto. It's a very simple, straightforward process. And if you have any other crypto that you would like, there's a form to ask us to use that. So if you can donate, it would help us. The lawyers will accept it, and we're coming upon Year of the Dragon, coming upon whatever is in store for us with our case. And I'm confident, and yet I also know the world's not a fair place. So we'll see what happens, and wish us luck. Pray for us if you pray. Do all the things that you would normally do, and we appreciate all of your support. Do please follow Dragonchain, Real Denizens, and me, Jojo Rowe, on X, on LinkedIn, on Den.Social. We really appreciate it, and I think that's everything. Oh, make sure, I guess, 2 things. Join us for the World Blockchain Roundtable in looks like 37 minutes or so. And also, I just recorded an interview that we do believe, I think it's going to air next week. And I'll talk about that on the roundtable. So make sure you watch us there, and we'll see you then. Thanks so much. Bye.
America's not the government, people. The America is you. It is the Grand fucking Canyon, the Rocky Mountains, the deserts of the Southwest, the Pacific fucking Ocean, the Atlantic fucking Ocean. It is the grandest continent. And what the fuck have you people done? You have turned yourself into sheep, every goddamn one of you.